The 1st of September, you wrote an op-ed piece in the Des Moines Register addressing the people of Iowa, which happens to be the first state in the country that will have a presidential political contest in 2020. You sounded a note of hope and unity, a lot like President Barack Obama said in his first run for president. You said this in part: if we embrace the powerful forces that unite us, we can create an America that inspires hope and optimism again. We can meet those challenges in Iowa and across the nation if we rise up together to take back our country in the name of we the people. That sent a lot of people, all of Twitter, political analysts, saying that that is a sure sign that you're running for president. You sound a lot like a candidate in that article that you wrote. Are you considering running for president?
I was so honored to be invited out to the corn feed. This was a continuation of the steak fry that my friend Tom Harkin had created in Iowa. And they invited me because I've led the battle on the Equality Act. I've led the battle on climate disruption. I've been deeply involved in the battle over health care. And they wanted someone to share the perspective of how we can really bring this country together and reclaim it for the vision in our Constitution. Our Constitution wasn't a document to create government by and for the powerful. It was a document to create government by and for the people. That has been lost with the enormous role of dark money in our campaigns, authorized through Citizens United
Senator,
lawsuit.
I have to jump in here because people are saying you're just being coy about this whole thing. That why else would you really go to Iowa if you're not testing the waters?
Well, I've been invited to go all over the country. I'm going to be up in Michigan. I'm going to Idaho. My children are now out of high school, so I have more flexibility to move around the country and help people out. I'm not up for election, but I have 25 of my colleagues out of the 33 Senate races who are up for election. And so this is a time to that I can really be helpful to them just as they were helpful to me.
Are you ruling out a run for the
No,
presidency?
I'm certainly not ruling it out. I've always found it somewhat humorous, as I believe it was Senator Byrd who said that everyone who goes to the Senate flashes before their mind at some point that maybe they could do a lot better job than the person in the office. And I think right now every single Democrat in the country believes that they could do a lot better job than President Trump.
But you've been having weekly meetings with big-time progressive names and progressive organizations. If Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders weren't to run, Bernie Sanders will be 79 in 2020. Who's going to take up that left progressive mantle? Any chance you do that?
I did organize these meetings because what we saw is that the Republicans had a grassroots movement that was very significant, the Tea Party, in pushing back against President Obama and the many good things that President Obama was trying to do. While the Democrats in the Senate had not worked closely with our grassroots, groups, for example, like Indivisible, like Move On, like Credo, that have the ability to organize a lot of activity. And I felt if we were going to stop, for example, Trump Care, which is seeking to destroy health care for millions, we had to make sure we knew what they were doing and they knew what we were doing, so we weren't basically working at cross purposes. And I think that did really help us so far in defeating the Trump Care proposals. And I hope it will help us I know it will help us this coming week. I hope it brings us to victory this coming week. But that was in the context of being more effective for the things that I'm fighting for and I believe in, not in the context of some potential
You told me once
campaign.
that if you did decide to run, you would let us know here on Straight
There we
Talk.
go.
So I hope you will.